with the tripod. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a little, that's
Wobbly.
okay. That's okay, we'll take care of it. Jackson will sit right there. Yeah, so we're going to start, and I don't know how many of you guys have heard of the Rule of 72. Has anyone heard of the Rule of 72? No? No? Well, besides Jackson, because I know Jackson has. So the Rule of 72, rewind back many years to when Albert Einstein was still alive. He kind of discovered what he deemed the eighth wonder of the world, which was how compound interest works. And he kind of discovered that this number, 72, had a big role to play in how compound interest works, and use it to figure out how much time it takes for an investment, or for anything that has like an appreciating or a depreciating rate will double. And the way we find that out is we just take this number 72, and then we need to know the rate of return, or like rate of appreciation. So you can use this for like IRAs, you can use this for all different kinds of investing. But we're gonna focus on it in like a real estate sense. Hi,
Come on
are you
in.
in the class? Come on in.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Come on in and have a seat.
Yeah. Good to see you. So we're going to talk about Rule 72 and just compound interest and how it can help us out in real estate. So in real estate, I'm not crazy, first of all, by this Rule of 72. You can Google it, and you can find many different things about the Rule of 72. It is like a real thing. Like I said, Albert Einstein discovered it. Was the first one to realize it. So let's go ahead and just start by figuring out some doubling periods. So let's say that you have something, you have your IRA, and it's got, what's a good percentage of appreciation rate for that? Is there
8%.
anyone want to throw one out?
8.
8?
8% works.
Okay.
Just say 8.
Okay. Someone have a calculator?
It's 9.
You said 8, so you have to
It's
pull out
All
the
right, all right, all
calculator.
right.
It's 9.
I'm on the hook.
9?
The answer is 9. You get 8.
Okay. Divided by 8 and equals 9. So what we know about 9 is it will take 9 years. So if you invested $100, it's going to take 9 years for that $100 to become $200. And so this number that we get is the number that is how many years. Okay, so in the world of real estate, does anyone know what the rate of appreciation is in real estate? The last 2 years, it's been a lot higher than it's been on average. So if you take the last couple of years, it'd probably be like 20%. But average, it's 6. So some years it's probably 3 or 4. Other years it's more like 8 or 9. But average, it's 6. So we're going to take 72 and divide it by 6, which equals 12. So a real estate investment, if you buy a home for $500,000, 12 years later, it will be worth the big $1 million. So while we were discussing this class, we actually came up with kind of a new name for it, which was how to pay off your house in 12 years and still drink your lattes, which I know some of us, maybe we don't drink coffee, but you do other things that you like. You go on trips, you spoil your grandkids. You do things that we enjoy doing, right? We love to just live and enjoy our lives. And this is a way, instead of like scrimping and saving and maybe making double payments to pay it off in 12 years, this is how you can, I'm going to show you a way to use this 12 years in a way where you can just live your life, enjoy the things that you like to enjoy, while still just paying off a regular mortgage. So the example that I practice with is that 500 number. So let's say we're gonna buy a house, and it's gonna be $500,000. Condo, house, whatever. We're gonna, we've got $40,000 to play with, so we're gonna put only 20 down. I need to be better at writing. So we're only gonna put 20 down on our $500,000 house. So it's gonna owe $480,000. Okay, so I'm gonna call this house number 1. Okay, because this plan does involve 2 houses. So you've saved $20,000 from this, and in a year, you're gonna go ahead and get house number 2. And does anyone know why you wait a year? Why can't you buy just 2 houses at the same time?
Because you don't have the money to buy
That could be one reason.
another 20.
That could be one reason you need the year to save up enough money again. Yeah.
The equity in the other house or something? No?
No. Rob, I'm blanking on the word. That's why I need to jump in. What's that word called?
So the lenders, they make you occupy a home for 1 year before you can make it into a rental. So if you put less than 20% down, you have to live in it for a year before you make it into a rental. So when you buy the first home with $20,000 down, they're going to expect you to make that into a primary residence. Probably the word you're for, primary residence.
Yeah.
For 1 year before they'll allow you to buy another house.
Okay. Did I lose anyone yet? Or does that make sense? Okay. So you rent this guy out, and your payments, I did the math on this, the payments will be about $3,000 per year of mortgage payments. So, and you're gonna rent it, and you're gonna rent it out for $3,000, so it pays off your stuff. And we'll delve into a little bit more of that later, because that changes over time too. But first, I'm gonna finish paying off the house in 12 years. So your second house is $500,000. You put $20,000 down again, and then you still owe this. So using this rule of 72, what happens after 12 years to this?
It becomes $1 million?
For both of these, it becomes $1 million. I like to write out all the zeros for effect. Okay. So great. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do after 12 years? We're gonna still owe. I mean, let's be honest. You're paying a lot of interest in the first 12 years, not as much principal. So let's say you still owe. I don't know, $350. Still owe $350 there, and you still owe $350 here too. Let's squeeze it in here.
So it looks like it's like a 30-year loan or something?
So yeah, so this is if you just used a standard 30-year loan. This is what the numbers come up to. To get these, like this is really general, and these numbers are like rounded just for easy math. But I used a mortgage calculator to like figure out the 3,000 and I don't know. I've just practiced it, so I kind of just ballparking this one. But it'll be about that. It'll be about that. So, but you have $1 million to work with. So, I mean, at this point, we have a little bit of options. We can just pay this off, take our cash and do what we want with it. It would be, let's see, if we used our $1 million to pay off the rest of this, you'd have $650. So you sell this house. Now you can move back into this house if you want. Take your $650, pay that off. So now you have this in your bank account, and you're sitting on a house worth $1 million. And that's after 12 years of just paying this mortgage.
That makes sense to
Does that
everybody?
make sense? I'm gonna go a little bit more detailed about this side. So, oh, I wish I left myself more room, but I think I can do it in this little space. No, I'm not. Okay. So if everyone understands this, I'm gonna erase this second.
Now, does everybody
This
get
second
how
part.
that works?
Does everyone get this? Does
Everybody
everyone write
gets
down what they wanted to write down? Does it make sense? If it doesn't, you can shout it out. It's fun. Okay. Okay. So the whole time that you're here, in this 12 years, right? 12 years is happening, it's worth $1 million. This, which is your mortgage, and what also, you probably started off renting it out, and you probably started charging, about the same. You're not gonna make much at first when you rent out a property, if you just have bought a home. But if you take this $3,000, you can also use this for rental increases. So after 12 years, you're getting $6,000 from your renter who's renting this house from you. You're getting $6,000, but how much is your mortgage payment? It's $3,000.
Yeah.
Your mortgage payment is the same. So you're getting this mortgage paid off, and also by the end of the 12 years, you're also getting house number 2 is getting paid off as well. So that's really when you have a lot of options. After you get past the first 12 years, do you maybe want to keep your houses again for 12 years? Or you can sell them and do what I kind of explained at the beginning, and just have your $1 million house and then your cash. So, but let's think about it.
Why would you keep it an additional 12 years? I don't think that was explained. The first 12
I was about to explain it though.
Okay.
Yeah, well, because if you take it an additional, okay, let's simplify it down for this next part. At least what's on here. So now you started like this. 12 years later happens, right? And then another 12 years happens, and so now it's worth $2 million. And the $3,000 that you were getting in rent here, we just explained you'll get $6,000 there. And you get $12,000 in 24 years. So this is after 12 years, 24 years. And I know that seems ridiculous. I absolutely know that seems ridiculous. Who would pay $12,000 for rent somewhere? Who would do that? But then you think about how much did your parents pay for rent? How much did their parents pay for rent? How much did they pay for their house? Could they imagine how much we pay for houses now? Yeah. Okay. And so I know there's a big difference between renting and buying, and Rob was going to talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
Just kind of the cost of what was the word that you used? You used a really good word for that, like the essential rent, or the essential mortgage payment.
I'm not sure what I said.
I don't know
I
what
make
you
stuff
said.
up as I go. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. You want me to help you out here?
Yeah. Help me out with the rent part.
Okay, all right. All right.
Here.
I don't have as near as nice of writing as she does. She did really well, by the way. Thank you.
I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Really appreciate that. Yeah, so the idea of this is, that what she explained is, you can leverage. Leveraging is key to when you want to invest, right? It's a big deal. When you leverage, that's how you make money. When you have, I'm going to just go off on a tangent here real quick.
You always do.
I always do. So sorry. I mean, I give an hour class, and then 2 hours later, everyone else is asleep. I'm so, oh my gosh, look at this. I'm a big math buff, right? The cool thing about leveraging something like this is, remember, we started off with $40,000 before, $40,000, and we leveraged it into $1 million. So we leveraged that into $1 million, right? And out of that $1 million, out of this $40,000. 12 years later, we owned a house free and clear, $500,000 house free and clear, and that gave us a $1 million house and that $300,000. So by leveraging $40,000 in 12 years, you can be worth $1.3 million. It's insane, but it's true. It's all true, right? It's just simple math. Some people say, well, Rob, I don't want the hassle. I don't want home ownership, it's just too much. So I just want to rent. And we need to talk about the high cost of rent, right? What is renting good or is renting bad? Well, sometimes we have to rent until we get to the point where we can buy. Let's take a look at renting. So we're going to use the same numbers. What do you think? $3,000 a month rent? All right? Right? $3,000 a month rent. Hey! Hello, come on in, have a seat. We've got more chairs sitting around here.
Yeah, we can swing this one.
The test is next. Your timing is perfect. You can just jump on in and take the test, and we'll see how you do. All right?
Yeah, I got it. Yep.
All right?
Excellent.
So people tell me, Rob, I'm paying $3,000 a month rent. I can't pay you $4,000 in a payment. It's just too much money. So I want to break this down for you guys. Right? Let's say that your payment is that, right? And your rent is this. So I just can't come up with this, Rob. I just can't do it. It's just too much money to buy a house. I get it. It seems like a lot of money. Right? How many people here own a house? You own a house? You guys know the benefits of this. Right? So we look at $3,000 a month rent. After a year, you pay $36,000 in rent. Right? It's $36,000 in rent. Made any money? Nope. But you paid $36,000 in rent, right? Made somebody else some money. Let's talk about the payment. Let's talk about the benefits of making a house payment. So, there's a lot of moving parts in this, but we're going to start off with the tax benefits. What are the tax benefits of your payment, right? What can you write off in your payment? You guys know that. You homeowners know that, right? Interest and taxes. That's what you write off. So out of a $4,000 payment, how much do you write off? Good idea is about, let's just say, make it easy, about $3,000 of that, right? About $3,000 of that is a tax write-off. All right, the rest of it, the $1,000 goes to insurance and it goes to the principal that you pay off. So that means in a year, you save $36,000 in taxes. So how much do we make a year? We make $100,000 a year? Can it make my math simple for me?
Yeah.
All right. So here is the one thing. You're making $100,000 a year. At the end of the year, you pay $36,000 in tax in rent. That still means that you're paying taxes on $100,000 here. Nice thing about this, you're paying $100,000. You're making $100,000, but you get right off $36,000. But now you're paying taxes on $64,000. You're paying income tax on $64,000. This actually bumps you down a tax bracket, and you're paying a lot less. So, right, you're paying a lot less in taxes. How much money are you saving? How much money you're saving? Well, let's figure it out. Let's say that what's a tax bracket is $64,000. Let's just say that you're paying 30% in taxes. Is that about right? Anybody here know taxes better than I do on that? It's probably about right. Yeah. So to here you're paying $3,000 in taxes if you have no write-off. Ouch. Right? Here, let's just say that you're still in the 30% tax bracket, but you're probably closer to 26. Just because the math's easier for me. So you multiply this by 0.30. What's 64,000? That's 0.3. Mr. Calculator over there. Beep, 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 beep.
$1,900.
1,900. All right. Okay. $19,000. Thank you. 64 times 0.3 is $19,000. Divide that by 12. Drum roll.
Just under 1,600.
1,600. So in taxes, I'm saving 1,600. So the effective payment, right? So I'm making a $4,000 a month payment, but minus taxes, I'm actually effectively making a $2,400 a month payment. One of the cool things about what she was talking about earlier, having two houses, you get two deductions. The idea is to not pay the government as much as we can, right? We can get, right? That's key. We all work hard, so we can all pay the government as much as we can, or we can just try not to pay them as much as we can. This is all legal. They give this to you, so why wouldn't you do that?
Isn't the deduction though on your taxes only on your primary residence?
No, it's not. Nope. Nope. I mean, look at your good friend Donald Trump. Why is he not paying any taxes? Because he has all these things that he leverages in order to save money, right? He makes a lot more than we do, but he just gets all these ways to be able to save money. So, no, this is the way that works. But even with one house, this is why $4,000 is actually less than $3,000. Right? Like I said, there will be a test. You guys already take notes? You're a good note taker. I can tell right now you're a good note taker. All right? Questions about this? Appreciate the question. Any questions? You always have questions.
Well, as someone who's not a homeowner, how hard is it? Like, is it just like filing normal taxes, right? And it's just a deduction box?
Yeah, you get TurboTax. It'll help you out with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Ask you if you had a house, if you bought a house, ask you all that sort of good
The
stuff.
mortgage owner, the mortgage bank sends you a statement that basically says, this is how much you paid in interest, this is how much you paid in taxes. You fill in a couple boxes on TurboTax and you're done.
And it's done, right? That's key. So not only am I making money by leveraging, I'm also saving money by being able to deduct the interest. I win, right? This is how we win. Right? How long have you owned your house?
Oh, outright?
No, just how long have you owned it?
Oh, I've been in it for 40 years. I've owned it for 27.
How much did you pay for it?
Didn't die. 58,000.
So this thing, people always say, Rob, this rule of 72, it's not real. This is a mathematical principle. You guys weren't here for that part of it. It's real. It's not something that someone made up. This is real, right? And this 6% appreciation is real. So your house is worth, if you just do like the reverse math on it, it can kind of give you an idea how much your house is worth now. You pay $56,000. If it doubles every 12 years, right? And how long? 40 years? It's 3 times. It's 3 times, 3.5 times. So we just do the basic math on that. It goes 56 to 112. It's going to be more than that. To 224. One more time. 448, and then a half more. Right? It's going to go about 600. And what was that? Double this is the 60, 76. So we're just using that, just using the rule of 72, your house is worth about 676. Not knowing what you did with it, not knowing exactly what it is, but just using the rule of 72. And is that close?
Mm-hmm.
It's real. It's real. It's insane, right? It's just insane. And the same thing goes with rent. People say, oh my gosh, how can rent double in 12 years? How much do you guys pay in rent? And how much did you pay 12 years ago? Right? This is real stuff. This is why it helps you make money. Did I do my job okay? Did I do that all right? Okay.
Very good.
All right.
My mortgage payment hasn't doubled in 12 years.
That's one of the keys, right? We went over that right before you got here. Is that as this rent is doubling, we talked about that just for a little bit. We'll go backwards a little bit because I just think it's so cool. I love this. I love this sort of thing. Right? So you own this home and your mortgage payment is $3,000. In 12 years, your mortgage payment is $3,000. right? And then 24 years, your mortgage payment is $3,000. Yeah, your taxes will go up a little bit and your insurance goes up, but that, we're not gonna talk about that, right? And your rent went from 3,000 to 6,000 to 12,000. Who's gonna pay $12,000 a month for rent? Everybody in 24 years. Everybody's gonna pay that. No one believes you're gonna be paying $3,000 a month for rent, 24 years ago either. You're all paying 500 or whatever, right? So that's why in 12 years, if you own 2 houses, this one pays for your payment. 12 years, you can live free if you want to keep both houses because this one is paying your mortgage payment. Right? That's key. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you hit what we were going for. Does anyone have any questions? Or have been thinking about any questions?
Get out the test. So before you got here, we were talking a lot about the rule of 72 and how to pay off your house in 12 years. We can go over that again.
Do you want to just do it? Yeah, we'll do the quick version for Gentry and Josh. Okay. No, it's worth doing it twice. But yes.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I'll show you what that. That's a great question. Kind of statement anyway.
Say something.
Okay. The example that we're using, because it's easy math, is 500. So we'll go through it again. So this is we renamed the class after I sent out about self-reliance, and it's how to pay off your house in 12 years while still doing the things that you like to do without having to sacrifice. Because we can do the math on this too. If you wanted to pay off your house, let's say you got a $500,000 house, you put the 20 down like we talked about earlier, you owe $480, and you wanted to pay it off in 12, 15 years, just paying this. Let's figure out what that is. We did this math, let's see. So you'd have to pay, essentially, we came up with a number, it was like double, right?
40,
It was like,
it was a lot more. 52, was it $5,200?
do you
It was
remember?
50,
Is it in your text messages? We asked our lender. He told us.
Yeah, like
if you want to pay it off just by making an extra payment.
Yeah, but essentially making an extra payment though. It was almost $6,000.
It was almost double. Yeah, maybe it was 57.
Yeah, are you talking about a 15-year or 12-year?
Well, that's right. He messed it up
That's
because he's doing a
right, 'cause
15-year
he's-
loan. I
yeah.
don't want to do a 15-year loan.
You want to do 12-year?
It's going to be 12. Yeah. How do you pay off? How do you pay off that much?
It's
money?
it's like $4,600.
No, that's not true.
That's what he told me. 12-year fixed.
Yeah.
12-year fixed.
Okay. Let's do that. 4,800.
48. So you're gonna have to make. So instead of it being $3,000 a month, you're gonna have to pay an extra $180 a month. $180 a month. $1,800 a month. Okay. So with the rule 72, you've got. We're gonna call this house number 1. The plan involves 2 houses. So you're gonna live in this house for a year, and then you're gonna switch to house number 2. You're gonna move to house number 2. You're gonna rent out house number 1, and you're gonna also, just for easiness sake. That's not even a word, but you guys know what I mean.
I like it.
You guys know exactly what I mean. I'm just gonna stop.
Is this 12 years later?
What was that?
Later? Is this 12 years later?
Not yet. This
Oh,
is
not
1
yet.
year later. This
1
is
year
1 year
later.
later,
Oh,
right?
okay.
1 year later. You buy another house. You rent this one out, right? So, and we're gonna rent it out at $3,000 a month. And so same thing over here, except you live in it, right? You're gonna owe $480. Living it. Okay. We're living in it for 12 years. 12 years. Because of the rule of 72, we know that 12 years later, $500,000 turns into the big $1 million. the one